Mark Levin. Remember I was saying like they can't wait for this asshole to be God himself. They certainly have already just promoted him to Jesus. History will remember Donald Trump as a hero. No. No.
The enemy within. Oh, they hate this. I love it. The enemy within is still the enemy within. Do you think
Thanks, dummy.
they're going to change? You think the Marxist jihadists are going to change? You think Bernie Sanders, Omar, Tlaib are going to change? Do you think Jamie Raskin's going to change? Do you think Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer are going to change? Do you?
I love how you like kind of lump everybody together with like jihadis. Fuck yourself.
Because they're not.
Yeah, you know who else isn't going to change? Me, you dumb motherfucker.
That's what we're about. Educating as many
What, change?
people as humanly possible about the greatness of America, from the ancients to history to economics to our founding documents.
The ancients? I'm sorry. You're referring to the Skeksis.
We defend the founders. We defend the framers. From the
We defend the ancients. We defend the mugworts. I don't
Marxist
know.
professors and the jihadist activists, and we always will. We defend.
How? What the fuck are you talking about? You don't defend shit, dum-dum. You jabber for a living. Don't get out over your skis. At least I know what I do for a living. You defend. Shut the fuck up.
The patriots who are among us right now. The
I'm a patriot. I'm not among you.
statesmen who are among us right now.
I like to think of myself as a statesman. Sure. Yeah. I mean, I've seen all 50 states, man.
Like Donald Trump and others. But Donald Trump
And others, but in
in
particular.
particular, who's
Yeah.
been treated like no public servant in the history of America. That's
Yeah, but maybe short of Johnson, has been wagging his Johnson around more than any other president in history.
what's so amazing about this. Grover Cleveland's the only president to win 2 non-consecutive terms for the president.
That's right. He's in a great club. Yep. Trump, Cleveland, 2028.
And back then, he was a Democrat, but he was more conservative than the Republicans. He was actually a pretty damn good president.
Oh, you mean back when Democrats were racists, before we switched parties because of the civil rights era and there was that crisscross, he was a Dixiecrat? That's the kind you prefer? No kidding.
Now he had a child out of wedlock, so they were making big issues of that, but he wasn't done.
But he wasn't anywhere near the pussy-grabbing scumbag that Donald Trump is. Sit back, Cleveland, watch this.
Yemhoff, slapping women around and that sort of thing. He was what he was, but it turned out he was a pretty good 2-term, unconnected terms president. And when you
Yeah, this is great, man. You're killing it.
look at Donald Trump, do you know of another person in public life or period that's gone through what he's gone through?
Well, I would argue that Kennedy, Lincoln, Garfield, a few of them went through a lot worse by every stretch. And by the way, none of it of their own making, I would say. I think that's the distinction I would make. What happened to Kennedy, what happened to Lincoln wasn't their own fucking fault.
That's the other thing. Kamala Harris didn't have any skin in the game.
Ooh, don't bring up skin, you pasty motherfucker.
Donald Trump had everything in the game.
What the fuck does that mean? Didn't have any skin in the game. I honestly, I don't know what the fuck he means, other than, I guess, money or something.
His liberty is very freedom.
Oh, I see. Because she wasn't fighting to stay out of jail like he was. Well, he could have not committed crimes, I suppose, right? That would have been the easiest way around it.
Stop breaking the law, asshole!
Why is that her fault?
Still want to put him in federal prison. They're trying to figure out right now as I speak, sitting around some long oval table in the Department of Injustice.
Oval?
Just trying to, well, what do we do now? How do we handle this? We don't want to just throw in the towel. They're trying to figure that out in the state of New York. They're trying to figure it out in Georgia, where by the
Right. Everywhere he committed crimes. Yeah. I mean, they kind of have to, don't they? If we're going to have rule of law, if the law is going to mean anything to anybody.
The way Fannie Willis won in a landslide. Good. They all deserve each other. But that's not the point.
It feels like it's the point.
This is a man who's been pursued to the ends of the earth.
No. He ain't seen nothing yet.
This is a man, even if he wins on appeal on that Albany case, the Letitia James case, he's lost hundreds of millions of dollars.
Oh, yeah. That's too bad. I guess he'll have to just graft off the fucking government like he did last time.
For what? For a phony case, for a phony law, with a phony judge and a phony prosecutor.
And a phony business and phony books and phony deals and phony taxes and he's a fraud. That's the charge.
The Manhattan case was quintessential Stalinist. Stalinist.
What? Why would it be Stalinist? When the fuck did Stalin actually charge anybody? Didn't they just round him up and put him in a box? Good Lord. I mean, half the people listening to this are like, don't threaten me with a good time. Straight up Stalinist. Jesus Christ, man, Biden's still president. If they were straight up Stalinist, he won't make it to January 20th, you dumbass.
Convicted of 34 counts. Man was charged with 91 indictments. In 4 different jurisdictions.
No, 4 indictments. Those are the charges. Try and keep up.
Local, state, federal. That's not an accident. That's
right. Yeah, I feel like he had to work very hard to commit crimes in all those districts. You know, most people just keep it to one thing.
It's not a coincidence.
No, it isn't. It is not a coincidence. He committed crimes in all those areas, and he was charged in all those areas. It's amazing how that happens.
That's a police state. That's a totalitarian regime.
No, it isn't. It's a crime spree, you dumb motherfucker. What? No. Those didn't cease to become crimes just because you always thought he was fucking president.
And despite all that, you voted for him, and tens of
I didn't.
millions of others did too. You're not buying it. We're not buying it. We're just not.
No, you just prioritized the destruction of women's rights and your fear of immigrants over the rule of law in the country. Not that weird. I mean, there are a bunch of people who believe that Nixon could have been reelected in this environment. So that's who those people are.
And so he wins this election. This is election for you, for your children and grandchildren.
What grandchildren?
For the country. And
You mean Russia, right? Yeah.
Yes, for Donald Trump. This was a defeat for the Democrat Party, for the American Pravda media.
Wait, Truth Social is going away?
For the phony tenured professors and some of their dumbass students.
Ouch. Watch the language there. You're on the Blaze. This is the faux Christian network. Glenn is going to have to... Look, if Glenn can't fight the deep state and Kamala Harris, he's going to have to turn the Blaze into a megachurch. So watch your tongue, you fucker.
This was a win for those of us who believe in liberty. This was a defeat for those who are practicing tyranny. And let me put this warning.
Basically just flip-flop everything he says and you'll understand what reality is.
Warning signal out. They're not going to go away quietly.
Nope.
I love these people on TV. Donald Trump has to put out the olive branch. Donald Trump has to show how gracious he is. Donald Trump has to unite the nation. Well, maybe he can do all those things.
No, he cannot.
But the enemy within, oh, they hate this. I love it. The enemy within is still the enemy within. Do you think they're going to change? You think the Marxist jihadists are going to change?
Probably not. Those are pretty deep ideologies, though. I also don't think the maggot anti-government groups are going to change either, which is going to be a problem for him. You do. I don't know. Have you guys ever seen the footage of the dude who was, Summer showed it to me, of the guy who got pulled over? He was like within 100 miles of the southern border, and they're like, I need to see some ID or whatever. And he's like, I don't have to show you ID. I'm fucking Texan or something. And he goes, well, I'm Homeland Security, so I need to see your ID because you're within 100 miles of the border. We can ask anybody for ID because that's how the rules are. And this guy's like, fuck you, and pulls like a sovereign citizen bullshit because he's between here and the border. Now, more than likely, he had a record or a warrant or whatever. Again, the video starts in the middle and stops before the end. But the issue for this guy remains that he feels like he could tell the police to go fuck themselves specifically for this reason, that they think they're going to get a KMA card, and they're not.
You think Bernie Sanders, Omar, Tlaib are going to change?
Why would they?
Do you think Jamie Raskin's going to change? Do you
They all got reelected.
think Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer are going to change? Do you? Because they're
Well, Tlaib didn't, right? Yeah.
not. These are diabolical people who are always plotting.
Yeah, the Jews and Muslims always plotting. I hear you. What?
Plotting.
Plotting, you say. They're plotting. As opposed to plotzing, I guess, is the difference.
And their target will be Donald Trump more than ever.
Okay.
But you know what? Donald Trump has one term under his belt. He's not green about hiring personnel anymore.
And he can't see anything under his belt. So.
He's not green about what he's up against.
I'm sorry, he's not green about what he's up against?
More than ever. But you know what? Donald Trump has one term under his belt. He's not green about hiring personnel anymore. He's not green about what he's up against.
Oh, green the first time and then green the second time. Gotcha, okay.
And he needs to
He kind of is.
have the smartest, most
Whoops.
courageous, most competent,
Okay, not so far.
brass knuckle people around him to push back. This has to be one of the most remarkable campaigns run by a Republican I've ever seen. The lawyers were all ready. Did you notice? They were filing lawsuit after lawsuit pre-voting. It's very smart, pre-voting day. And getting these cases out and challenging it and making it abundantly clear that
Made no difference.
cheating wasn't going to be tolerated because they were trying to cheat. I mean, they found
No, they weren't.
stuff. There was no question about it. Even judges actually had to rule because once the voting takes place, these judges don't want to participate.
Yeah, people were burning ballot boxes.
It's a dereliction of duty, but we've learned
Oh, sorry. Sorry. The major's address is up there. I'll take it down. There you go. Thank you.
that the hard way.
For all this and much.
Okay, that's the whole thing. Again, this is all like just macho posturing from this dickhead. Again, we saw this during Trump. It's no different. And any failures, it's like capitalism for the population, socialism for the rich. This is the same thing is true of like failure. It's like all the successes are 100% Trump's. All the failures are caused by his enemies, right?